Welcome to Survivor NSFW. It was a beautiful night on my patio watching glorious, glorious Survivor. Johnny, first of all, last week, was for me, I love the episode. Family Visit was epic for me. Um, Tribal, a lot of stuff went down, but a lot of people seem to be getting pissed about the live tribal stuff, the whispering. So I'm thankful that tonight there was none of that.
We saw masterful tribal jury management tonight. I mean, like they were laying the foundation tonight to explain to the Edge of Extinction people, hey, fuck, you're coming back in the game and winning. Like that shit's over with. One of us deserves it. Give one of us $2 million.
100%. I mean, I thought it was a brilliant episode, especially for the, a couple times, like last week, we kind of, with the amount of time, 30 minutes or something on Family Visit, we didn't see a lot of strategy, and then Tribal was crazy. Tonight was a brilliant game of strategy. It was fun. It was hilarious. Tony Vlachos Nachos is the MVP of this episode. I mean, the dude, his confessionals crack me up every time. I mean, I think he's fucking hilarious. I think he's a smart game player. And another person tonight that was also impressed me, Kim Spradlin, man. I mean, we've kind of said before, even on our Patreon, Q&As or top 10 lists, what we did with Russell Hantz. But by the way, if you guys want to support our podcast and get tons of content, the best way to support Survivor NSFW is our Patreon page. So Johnny, tell them where they can get all of the stuff we got going on.
Sure. Go to patreon.com/Survivor NSFW. There's links to everything at survivornsfw.com. And like this week, we did the Q&A. We're having patrons join us each week now during the Q&A. And that's been a lot of fun. We interviewed Flick from Survivor Australian All-Stars. What else? Oh, the top 10 good guys in professional wrestling with me and the Disco Inferno from the NWO. How insane is that? So lots of crazy additional content. We have something really special planned for tomorrow night with a lot of our farm friends. So that should also be cool. So, but yeah, check it out. Try it for a month. Patreon.com/Survivor NSFW.
So yeah, so we go tonight. The episode begins, and you see Jeremy at camp. No one's at camp because everyone's still at Tribal.
Yeah,
he's like wondering like what in the hell went down, because he played his whatever it was called. I forget at this point, but he was able to leave Tribal. He didn't get to vote, but he leaves Tribal. So he played it. And that was a smart move, because had he not played it, dude, Jeremy is like on the verge of just bad things happening and getting voted out. So props to Jeremy to play that.
The as he called it, the Houdini trick boom.
Yeah, that's right. And they edited it with the fire went. Phew.
Yeah, it was great. So, but there is, I mean, like when that advantage was first introduced, I'm just like, that's pretty cool, but that can really suck. Like that could easily work against you, and it did. I mean, they come back from Tribal. It's just like, what happened? They're like, we ain't telling you what happened because you weren't there.
Yeah, I know.
So yeah, there's some hurt feelings.
Yeah, and that's the thing with these advantages and different, the twists and turns. It is something that, sometimes it can be beneficial in the moment, but then you have to do a lot of damage control. And so Jeremy still kind of seems like a huge threat. I mean, we see Jeremy talking to Ben.
How great was that?
Oh, dude.
Who do you think's the biggest threat? You?
Yeah, I know.
He's like, no, it's you. He's like, no, it's you, man.
Yeah, that's one thing that's been funny watching Ben play, because a lot of times we've seen Ben at Tribal Council kind of open his mouth a little bit too much, is playing like a ballsy kind of game. You know what I mean? It's like
he seems to be in on the right stuff for the most part. So,
he is. I'm liking Ben.
I mean, Ben, I didn't dislike Ben before. I mean,
right. All right. So right now in the game, who are you stoked on?
Well, man, I have some inside information on Ben.
Ooh, what is it?
You may not be aware of this, but I heard he served our nation's military.
He did.
It's true. I don't know if you. I'm loving Ben. So I mean, he's they're not showing too much, so you're not getting tired of him.
No,
so, but he's like. I mean, that was probably my favorite part of the night is Ben Anthony's like, you, dude.
Ben's beard game is strong, too. His beard's looking good, man.
He has cool cowboy boots on by the beach. Good for Ben. He's chilling.
But it was funny, too, because we see later on, it's like Jeremy and Ben seem to be cool, but Jeremy is like getting annoyed at everything Ben is doing, apparently, and I'm wondering how the relationship is now, because
he's probably telling him that he's served our nation's military just over and over. Jerry's like, I got it. I may have heard somewhere else that you served our nation's military. So that's what's going on. Jerry's like, I can't stand him telling me. So because they stopped giving him confessionals, so he just keeps telling me over and over.
He's got to tell somebody. Oh man.
So I get it.
So Tony's edit tonight, dude. I mean, domination. I mean, we saw so much funny stuff, so much great gameplay, and we've said, if Tony wins this game, is Tony Nachos t-shirt available? I can't wait till mine comes in. JohnnyFairplay.com. I got the baby blue version of the Tony Nachos shirt. But dude, Tony, killer gameplay. And he's he had patience throughout this game.
He honestly played same up until tonight. I mean, just as long as it's not me, I'm not doing nothing. I'm not looking for nothing. I'm not doing nothing. I mean, like he was literally playing Sandra's game, and it was physically killing him. And then knowing that an idol was played, an idol potentially not go to Edge of Extinction to be sold, but potentially back into the woods.
Yeah.
Then was his moment to become the Tony Vlachos that we knew and loved before. So you're getting this awesome Tony that we've seen, Vlachos, sorry. this awesome Tony that we've seen all season, but now we get the player with it. It's so incredible because he's finding idols, he's winning immunity, he's double agenting and double blindside after that. And at Tribal, just saying, it's just like, I just think this is an easy vote. No one's playing right now because he sees all those other people trying to take credit for stuff. And plus he wanted to really diffuse Sophie. I mean, like it was just pure mastery at Tribal Council. This was Tony's coming out party. He went from Cocoon on season 40, which was an amazing Cocoon. I mean, but to now the butterfly has emerged and it's amazing. So Tony Vlachos killing it tonight.
Oh, dude. So we see him finally so excited to look for an idol, dude, right? Because everyone, he's like, after, people are tired, right? After tribals and everything.
Well, the early bird gets the worm.
That's right. So we see him getting up while everyone is sleeping, and he's like, I'm gonna go look for an idol, right? And then we see our buddy Nick, who's cramping Tony's style. He walks up, but the cool thing is, Tony does not get freaked out. Although I'm sure he's annoyed because if I'm out there looking for an idol and someone walked up, I'd be like, oh God, like shit.
I'm sure he's freaked out in addition to being annoyed.
Right, exactly.
But he played it perfectly.
He did because he had already went to the well and he said,
have you gone to the well yet? You should really go to the well. As if Tony wouldn't have fucking checked the well first.
Right.
Come on.
Right.
Nick's like, I know that motherfucker checked the well.
Yeah.
He's just shaking his head the whole walk.
Oh my God. But props to Nick for getting up, as well, because man,
well, Nick lays around and does nothing at camp all day, so he has the ability to wake up whenever he wants.
That's true. But it's like, it surprises me that more people aren't doing that. Like in that scenario, you're playing a game for $2 million. Are you going to be sleeping?
It's the same people every time. No new people emerge finding idols in the middle of the night. It's the same crew. So good on them, man. I would wake up now. I mean, I hate idols, but if you're going to have them, I'd like to have one.
Fuck yeah.
I mean, if the options are have one or not have one,
yeah.
In 2020 Survivor, I would rather have one.
Yeah, me too.
I'd rather have one and play it every fucking night and then re-find it the next fucking morning.
I know.
Rick Devens that shit.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So Tony finds an idol, and I'm absolutely thrilled, dude. I'm like, dude, this is something we love to see. It's like,
yes,
I loved watching Russell Hantz find idols on Russell Hantz's season. Ben found a lot of idols on his first season. I didn't like that. But Tony finding an idol. This is entertaining. This is entertaining.
I felt that all was right in the world, like with everything going on with the coronavirus and the quarantines. Like Tony Vlachos finding an idol was just like, is everything okay? Like right now, this very second.
Yep.
Okay. It was so. I was like, this is all we want to see. This is so great.
I know, and we got a lot of people in the chat right now, dude, that are like, pumped on Tony. So
was it too much? Was this, we have to show all this right now because the end is near, or is this strap on? This ride keeps going.
We'll have to see. I mean, right now I'm hoping Tony wins the game.
Yeah,
I really am.
Who's rooting? I would imagine the people out there are rooting for Tony to win the game right now.
Yeah.
I mean, like Tony's like, it's so like watching him get annoyed at Sarah's style of hanging out and talking. Like Tony, he's a firm believer and it's just like, I got 5 minutes. I got 5 minutes of good material. Let me give you those 5 minutes, and then you're sitting there with a big smile on your face, and you're like, all right, cool, peace, and then just leave.
Right.
He's like, those motherfuckers are talking for 90 minutes.
Yeah.
He's like, why? Well, you got to talk to somebody 90 minutes about. Yeah. There's no reason to do that. So 5 minutes, he's like, hey, here's my good shit today, and they're like, yeah, and he's like, cool, peace, and then he's out.
Right. I hear you.
It's an amazing social game too. It's a complete package.
It is.
Think of all the people in the world, and you could get like their best of in 5 minutes. That's gold.
Right. Oh no, dude, 100%, man. So we see day 27. I saw something that Sarah Lacina seems like an intense competitor. We know she's a badass. We know she's sneaky and a dangerous Survivor player, but we see a side of her like making clothes. She's like, it's like kind of like another fun human moment, lighthearted. They didn't spend a lot of time on it. They showed a little fashion show deal. And we've said this before, when you guys are out there on Survivor, you guys, people listening to the podcast, there are days that there's nothing going on and it's freaking boring. Like, there's not a lot going on. And so you do things like we played on Survivor Caramoan. We used coconuts and made this bocce ball deal, like course. And Johnny, you guys, I'm sure, did a lot of stuff just to make the time go by. So
no, we did nothing. We didn't. It sucked. We used to have crab races. Like we draw a circle and then put 2 hermit crabs and just fucking yell at them for like 20 minutes. But we did nothing fun. Like the whole time you're sitting there, you're just like, oh, all right, let's hurry up and do something so we can talk strategy for the next 9 hours.
Yeah. Oh, dude. But
there was no fun to be had.
They did a fashion show, and I was like, well, Michelle's got some moves. I could see Michelle being a model.
Sarah started the whole segment with making fun of herself,
Right.
Just,
right.
And so that was it. It honestly reminded me of the segment as a whole, like like a scene from like Survivor Africa or one of those early seasons where you just had them hanging out and having fun.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
and Australian Survivor, they did the Run Walk fashion show too.
Yeah, I thought it was just a slight little thing. They didn't spend a lot of time. I was hoping like, oh, dude, I hope this isn't like a 15-minute fashion show. But
oh no! Well, I saw the clip on social media going into the episode, and I was just I thought it was cute. I chuckled, but I was just like, yeah, I don't need 10 minutes of this, and all they showed was what the clip was, and I was like, perfect.
Oh yeah,
I was like, once again, the best of. Give me 5 minute Tony Blanco's conversation. Give me a 2-minute fashion show clip. I'm good.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah. but it did remind me of early Survivor, just hanging out and having fun.
Yeah.
Instead of going over something and under something in a challenge.
So right after that clip, man, it's we start seeing some good gameplay emerge. Tony decides he's like, dude, I'm going undercover. This is where we start really seeing the Tony that we saw in his first season.
Yeah.
And people seem to be buying it. Like Jeremy says, man, like Tony's totally believable. So
yes,
it's like,
he's one of the few.
Yeah, he is. But
it's crazy, but Tony doesn't seem like he's in trouble. But like, no one is really vouching for Tony.
Well, Jeremy's believing it, but we see Kim Spradlin, who Kim sees right through a lot of things, man. This is where her, Survivor is a game of reading people. It's a game of gambling and trusting your gut instinct. And I think Kim Spradlin's pretty good at that. And we see that tonight. I actually, the clips and gameplay we saw of Kim, I was pretty, impressed with.
Well, I think she's calling out Tony because Tony's kind of secretly calling her out.
Yep. Yeah,
so I mean,
no
she doesn't have if the dude don't like you, you shouldn't like him.
Right.
I mean, right. That's a good philosophy in Survivor. It's just like, I really want to have an alliance with that person. It's like, but they don't like you.
Yeah.
So what are you saying? You probably shouldn't have an alliance with that person. You should probably try to get rid of them. If they don't like you, that's not good for you. Right. They're not going to say, hey, let me keep this person around that I don't like.
Right. Then we go to Edge of Extinction, man. And people look beat down, dude. And we see Tyson, he's kind of narrating this deal like how, it takes a special mindset to deal with not even just Edge of Extinction, I would say, but just dealing with the mental anguish that Survivor puts on you. Not only
not winning.
Like not winning. That's right.
Yeah.
Like, so it actually, today, we talked to Russell Hans. It still bothers people years later. It is the what if scenarios. What could I have done different? It haunts you. Survivor is a blessing and a curse. And Tyson is saying how he thinks Adam is going to have a tough time with this whole deal.
Poss, I don't know. Adam's. I mean, he's such a fan. He loves the game so much. Yeah. But I mean, he was in there with some big leaguers, and Adam's not a big leaguer, and it's nothing against Adam. I mean, it's just those guys are just better. Mm-hmm. So and he played his heart out. I mean, like he left nothing on the table. So props to him, but still, he's not. There's some big personalities that he's not influencing.
Right.
So,
oh yeah.
Like, sorry, man. I mean, like, there's some Survivor studs out there.
Yep.
Male and female.
Mm-hmm. I agree. We see Natalie and Parv kind of looking around, and they end up finding a wine bottle that has this clue. Natalie finds it and says, "Hey, Poverty, we got this. It's an extortion advantage." And what it is they realize they kind of go up on top of that, ridge where they always go when they go to look for stuff or whatever. And they realize
the same spot they go to every time. Yes.
Yeah. They go every time.
That spot.
Yeah. They go every like
Boston Rob loves that spot.
Dude. Oh man.
How many times a day do you think Boston Rob walks to that spot just to see if there's something saying there?
Well, I mean, honestly, what I think Boston Rob since he's out there with his wife. As we all know, hair grows a lot in all the wrong places when you're out on Survivor, Johnny Fairplay. So I imagine Boston Rob may be meditating at the top of the edge of Extinction Mountain, dreaming about the days of manscaping, right? If you're listening to this podcast right now, I want you to take a second and look down. I mean, obviously, I look down and I see a beard almost down to the ground. But when was the last time, dudes, that you shaved your junk? It's been a while, don't lie. And let's take a second to thank our sponsor, Manscaped, for holding you accountable to get rid of the funk and shave your junk. Manscaped is the only men's brand dedicated to below-the-waist grooming and hygiene, okay? It's forever changing the grooming game. And we have a special offer and package for the listeners of Survivor NSFW. And I know a lot of our patrons have the Manscaped Lawnmower 3.0. So fair play. Tell about this amazing kit and how our listeners can get this for themselves.
Well, you get the Crop Preserver, which is an anti-chafing ball deodorant and moisturizer. You already put deodorant on your armpits. Why aren't you putting deodorant on the smelliest part of your body? You get the Lawnmower 3.0, new replacement blade refill for your lawnmower every 3 months, delivered, and not one, but 2 free gifts: the Shed Travel Bag, a $39 value, and the patented high-performance anti-chafing Manscaped body briefs.
Yes.
So 20% off, free shipping, use code SURVIVOR. That's manscaped.com. Use promo code SURVIVOR.
Yeah, you don't want your man pubes to look like my beard. So Manscaped is the way to go. So up on this ridge is not where this, extortion thing is. They realize poverty is like, it is underneath the shelter, and everyone literally sits in the shelter and sleeps in the shelter all day long because there's nothing else to do on the edge.
Yes.
So,
well, no, everyone but Wendell.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Wendell's building stuff, right? And making.
Well, no, did you see his commercial?
Oh, yeah, I did see the commercial. Yep.
Yeah. So there's the ShamWow guy.
Yeah. Right.
Ethan's friends with him. Did you know Ethan's an inventor?
No.
He has this bowl, the Easy Bowl, that keeps your cereal perfect. Like it's like a scientific breakthrough thing. It's called the Easy Bowl.
Yeah. Right.
So cool. And what was the big pitch man that died? Billy Mays?
Yeah, right. Yeah, I remember him.
Ethan was really good friends with him.
That's cool.
Did you know he's an inventor? I mean,
no, I had no idea. He's invented
all kinds of shit.
I had no idea.
Well, all Ethan sits around and he gets high all the time, so he thinks of cool shit, and he has friends with money, so he's just like, hey, here's some cool shit I thought of. Go make it.
Oh, that's fucking
It's awesome.
Funny, dude.
Good on you, Ethan.
One of our listeners, Southern Skeptic, just said, these two hairy bastards selling grooming products, America. So listen, dude. So just
below
because
the
I
belt.
have hair, below the belt, man, I'm not a fan of body hair. I mean, I shave my arms, I'm covered in tattoos. And whenever you go get a tattoo, they shave the spot where they're going to do your tattoo. So I shave my arms, my chest. I'm not a big I'm not a big fan of body hair. I like it. I had long hair for years. I've actually been thinking about growing my hair back, Johnny Fairplay. I don't know. I have.
Well, you're not allowed to get your hair cut right now.
I know. And I'm like, you know what? Do I shave it? But I'm like, I always do this. I grow my hair super long. Then I get tired of it. I cut it off. I have it short for about a year or two. And then I'm like, fuck, I'm dumb. I'm going to grow it long again. Because I love metal, dude. And I love headbanging and performing with my band and having long hair. But we'll see. That's another. So
they're reopening salons in Virginia May 8th.
Oh, really? Wow.
So I'm getting my mullet finally.
Are you getting a mullet?
Yeah.
Oh my.
I'm all in on the mullet.
So what do you think of this extortion advantage? Let's talk about the extortion advantage.
I hate it. I hate it more than life itself. It's the worst. Dude, I mean, I think it's already bullshit that they're selling shit to their fucking friends to help them win the game. But right. to make people pay for shit that could fuck up their game, fuck right. that. Like you got voted out. You don't get to fuck up my game.
Right. So
yeah, you can help somebody's game, but don't be fucking up my game.
But 6 so the extortion advantage would prevent whoever they just deem to give it to compete in the immunity challenge. So they cannot compete for immunity, and they cannot vote at tribal council.
Yeah, so you're just a fucking target.
Yeah,
Tony went from is this an obvious choice to I got all this power.
Yeah, right. So he's got, and then so what it boils down to is we see a scene where Tony is, running away from camp with his bag. He noticed something's in there. He's all excited, like, dude. He's all excited about gameplay and doing fun shit. So he's amped up.
He was so happy. It was like the happiest he's ever been in the history of Survivor. Right. He's like, extortion, yes! Yeah. Oh man, this is gonna be awesome. Somebody's getting fucked up. Let me explain all the reasons why. I mean, he didn't even read anything after that. He was like, extortion, I just won the game.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, dude. It was so funny. He's all excited until he realizes, oh shit. This is against me, dude. Yeah. And it's 6 fire tokens. Like, that's a lot of fire tokens, man. Well, Johnny Fairplay, hold on.
Okay, we're back.
You're back. So 6 fire tokens is a lot of fire tokens, man. And he has 3. So he's got to somehow get some people to give him fire tokens so he can play the 6 fire tokens so he can compete.
Yeah. And so the first person he goes to, I mean, the fact that he's just like that, he doesn't say, "Well, fuck it, I guess I'm just like when Denise is reading what the challenge is, he should have been like, and by the way, I can't do this, so sorry."
Right. Yeah, that wasn't even he wasn't even mulling it over.
Like, I'm getting 3 tokens.
Yeah, that's confidence in this game.
And his number 1 target is who he goes after first. Well, second at least.
Yeah. So he goes to Michelle, and Michelle says, "I have none," and she makes up
playing the game.
Yeah, and then he goes to Jeremy, and Jeremy gives him 1 fire token, and I believe Jeremy has 1 left.
Yes,
even with giving him that fire token.
Yeah. Then he's like, you never know, but at the same time, I think that 1 token ain't buying you shit in this game.
Right.
Yeah, like those days are long gone.
Yeah. So Jeremy gives him 1, and then Nick gives him a fire token. No, not even really any question. Nick's just like, yeah, I'll do it.
Nick's a good dude.
Yeah. I mean, he's just like, yeah, I'll give you 1, and then Ben gives him 1. So now he's got those 3 guys' tokens, and he has 3 himself, so he's got the 6 fire tokens. So we go to the immunity challenge, which is for immunity, and you can get 2 fire tokens. So here's my question. We don't see a presenting of 6 fire tokens to anybody. It's just common knowledge that he played.
I was kind of hoping that he would hand them to Jeff when he handed back immunity.
Yeah, that's what I wondered. So, like, did no one else really know that was even an option? You know what I mean? Like, we did. It was kind of like it was this big ordeal: extortion, 6 fire tokens. But then it was kind of like anticlimactic as far as presenting Jeff the tokens or something like that. So. The cool thing is we see Tony.
The cool thing is Tony won.
Yeah. And this challenge, man, I don't know what season we saw this challenge in before, but Jeff said it lasted a long time. You're on a balance beam. You got this like wooden pole. You're balancing a statue. Kim goes out first, and it ends up going between Ben, Tony, and Jeremy, and they're up there for a while. And we see Ben fall, and immediately, I don't know what this was. It was kind of weird because Ben falls, and then Jeremy all of a sudden just drops as well. Yeah. And then Tony's like kind of like confused, sort of like, oh my God, I won. And everyone that's on the bench watching it was like a weird moment. Why do you think that is? Did you get a weird like?
No, I just think that Jeremy was watching Ben, and when he saw Ben, he's like yes, and then fucking shook the statue.
Right. And he
I love
dropped
that
it.
challenge. Like
I do
that
too.
was old school.
It was.
I would hate to do it, but I liked watching it.
I like that challenge, but a lot of challenges that I've been doing at my house with my boys during this quarantine are puzzle challenges. Johnny Fairplay. Any fool can climb a wall or crawl through sand, but as any Survivor fan knows, Survivor challenges are won or lost at the puzzle. The most successful players are puzzle masters. You can be one too. Perplexers Puzzles creates handmade miniature replicas of many of Survivor's greatest and most challenging puzzles. Find out if you have what it takes by visiting the Perplexers Puzzle store on Etsy or simply visiting survivorpuzzle.com. Enter promo code FAIRPLAY at checkout for a 10% discount. And these are super fun. I have the tree puzzle, I got the fire puzzle, and I have the Survivor Season 40 like vote, logo, like the round puzzle. Love them. So if you guys, when this quarantine's over and you want to have like a Survivor viewing party at your house, these are great to have around because they're legit and they're super fun for the whole family. I absolutely love them. And shout out to them for being a proud sponsor of the Survivor NSFW podcast. So Tony wins. He's got the immunity. He's in a good spot because not only does Tony have an idol. Oh, there goes.
Whoops! Can you?
Yeah, I can hear you cut out again. So what I'm saying is Tony not only has hidden immunity idol, but he also has immunity now as well. So he's in a great spot.
So I getting back to the Survivor puzzles, I got the tree puzzle.
Yes.
It took you what, like 30 minutes?
The first time, dude, it was like 33 minutes, dude. When I was like, what am I doing? This is the hardest, and it's only like 15 pieces. I'm like, this fucking thing is impossible.
I started to do it, and I had Piper and Madeline in the room, and so it was like, there was clowns juggling around me.
Yeah.
I worked on it for 10 minutes. I got one piece.
Yeah, it's insane, dude.
They're legit, dude. They're so legit.
That is by far the hardest one. So if you guys are on the fence, like if you want super difficult, order the tree puzzle. If you want fun, they're all fun. But like, dude, like the tree one is by far, the hardest one.
The pirate ship puzzle's hardcore. But the tree is like next level.
My son is so good. He puts me to shame. Like I said the other day, he texted me. He's like, Dad, new record on the season 40 puzzle, 2 minutes, 30 seconds. I'm like, oh God, dude.
I'm not there.
Yeah, I'm not either. I'm not. These kids' brains, dude, today, I tell you, it's that specific math they're doing nowadays. But so Tony wins. We go to day 28. Sarah's talking kind of about splitting a vote. Some for Jeremy, some for Michelle. Jeremy's a target, but if he plays something, Michelle goes home. Sarah's kind of taking a little charge here, but man, there's massive amounts of strategy happening, many possibilities, and everyone is playing the game at this point, Johnny Fairplay.
Well, speaking of possibilities, fanduel.com/fairplay. Fairplay is case sensitive, all caps.
Yes.
And you could have guessed who would have the crazy strategies that we saw tonight. I mean, you pick your people. It resets each week. So you can pick different castaways each and every week. It's free to play. And I believe, once again, over $2,000 in prize money given out. Pretty awesome. You can pick if someone's going to cry. We saw no tears tonight. Maybe Sophie had some later in the evening. But
oh God.
But yes, but check it out. You have up until next Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern to get in your picks for next week. But a really cool deal. We'd like to thank fanduel.com/fairplay, and that's all caps on Fairplay, for us sponsoring the Survivor NSFW podcast.
Hell yeah. So Johnny, this we see kind of like Kim, Jeremy, Denise talking to Ben, but it seems Denise and Kim actually, wouldn't mind voting Ben out. There's a lot of different people on the chopping block and a lot of names out there. some people are like, Ben's being thrown out there. And then obviously Jeremy is being thrown out there. But then like Tony starts playing double agent again. Yes.
Again, a second time. Double agent.
Yeah. I mean, wow. You know what would happen if you put Tony and Philip Shepard, former federal agent? I mean, can you imagine the chaos between Benjamin Coach Wade, Philip Shepard, and Tony all on the same tribe with those guys? Like, who would be the alpha male? Who would you know what I'm saying? Like,
I would beg for a tribe swap if I were on.
Can you imagine?
No, I don't want to imagine. I can, and I don't want to see that. Now I want to see Tony Vlachos and Australian Survivor. I mean, like, tonight was a near perfect episode by a player.
Oh yeah, I mean, we see Tony win immunity. We
Start
see him. We see him do hilarious shit. We see him find an idol. We see him dominate. We see Tony and Nick talking, and about
You mean evil Donathan vampire?
Yes, that's right. Oh yeah, I saw Donathan post on Facebook like, anyone catch my name drop tonight on this episode? He said, I was dying with laughter. I totally remember that being a thing, Nick. But what are the odds they mentioned it? I swear. So props, shout out to my friend Donathan. Donathan's one of our dear friends, and I love Donathan. But dude,
I love. How happy were you when you saw that? I'm like, Donathan getting shout outs.
I know. It's awesome. Because I was just messaging Donathan like yesterday or today. I was, messaging back and forth with Donathan. He's a great guy. He's awesome.
Sweet.
So Tony wants Sophie gone because Sophie is close with Sarah, and
he likes being Sarah's only number one.
Yeah, he does. So,
but I don't even know if he likes how much he likes Sarah, because think about it. Sarah even said tonight during Tribal, like Sophie suggests a good, not great resume.
Mm-hmm.
And Sarah Lucina's like, no, I want to put together a big, great resume. And it's going to have kills and blindsides and immunities and everything.
Right.
Get ready.
Right.
So, I mean, she was prepping that jury. She's like, look, reward me for fucking doing everything.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean,
so Sarah opened up the floodgates tonight for blindsides and kill shots. I mean, like, I thought it was amazing.
It was. Tribal tonight was way better. This is why I love when there's not whispering, because what I liked is you're supposed to do your strategy talk and your decision making and everything prior to going to Tribal, and then they put you on lockdown to where it's like, boom, it's time to go to Tribal, and no more strategy talk. Okay. And we have not been seeing that. Like last week, it's like everyone's whispering, you don't know what's going on. The beauty about tonight is Tony Vlachos waited until right before Tribal. He waited to the last minute.
Yeah, so people can't change their minds. You don't need the extra. That one extra conversation can fuck you up, man.
Yeah, so
that one little like that one person talks to one person too many. Like they're just like, don't tell them. It's like, okay, I won't tell them. And then you're sitting there and you're waiting and waiting and waiting. And they're just like, what are you thinking about? It's like, well, they're thinking about doing this. I just figured I'd tell you because I'm fucking bored.
Yeah.
But no, you right before you leave, you tell some people and the camera crews hate it.
But I swear, dude, listeners of our podcast, if we literally, or if you're listening and you end up being on Survivor one day, people, if you're a newbie, take a page from the book of Tony and pull that shit last minute, because that really help solidify and make people even. You're so paranoid.
They're fear votes. They're scared to go in. It's just like, is it true? Is it not? It's just like, I mean, because he did a great sell.
Oh, he did. And so at Tribal, man, this is where it all is becoming. People are playing for $2 million. People are building resumes. Jeremy starts talking about how quiet camp was, and then it's like, I don't feel safe at all, and he shouldn't feel safe, but he's getting by barely. Jeremy's holding on by a thread because Jeremy is a very likable player.
Yeah.
And Jeremy's also someone that could go on a immunity streak and win and make it far into the end of the game.
And he has a lot of friends on Edge of Extinction.
He does.
There's so many people over there.
There are.
But there's also people that are going to reward the best game.
Yeah. And Sarah makes a comment like, oh, they're going to reward the best game 100%. Sarah makes a comment how, it feels, when you blindside somebody, I forget what Jeff asked, but he's like, when you blindside somebody, it does make you feel good. It makes you feel like, wow, I did that. Like almost patting yourself on the back, and especially in a game like this, when the stakes are so high, especially this deep into the game. I can't believe, Johnny, that we are just, a few short weeks away from the finale of season 40, which is going to feature a reunion show that's done via the internet, which is very sucky.
They're zooming.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, wow, it's crazy. But tonight, no advantages or idols are played at Tribal Council. It was a classic blindside, and Sophie goes home with an idol in her pocket. I felt bad for I'm just like, dude, that would suck so bad. But I know Sophie probably is like, you know what? And we see this in a scene after she gets voted out. She really felt like she was kind of an under the radar Survivor winner, right? Could I really play with the big dogs? And she held her own, dude.
She called herself a bottom tier winner.
Yeah, she did.
I still kind of have her there
as a bottom tier winner in her first time.
I think she improved.
Yeah, I do too.
So, but I think she came in as a bottom tier winner.
Oh yeah, I agree with that. But I'm proud of how Sophie.
She did. I thought she did good.
But I also know that, man, this deep into the game, winners at war going home with an idol in your pocket, that's got to sting pretty damn bad. You know what I mean?
Not having an idol in your pocket's even worse. That's why you need a blue chew, Matt Bischoff.
Dude, I tell you what, Johnny Fairplay. Remember the days when you were always ready to go? Well, especially now, we are in quarantine, dude. So I know that, like, a lot of people are like, dude, I can't wait to be ready to go. And I can, luckily I have my wife who I'm going to walk, later on tonight in that door and pop a couple blue chews. But especially now, man, the blue chew, this is blue, like the color blue. It's the first chewable with the same FDA-approved active ingredients as Viagra, Cialis, so they work. You can take them anytime, day or night, even on a full stomach, even if you're drinking Pabst Blue Ribbon. Shout out to PBR. So it works up to twice as fast as a pill, Johnny, so you can be ready whenever an opportunity arises. Johnny, I know you take these all the time. You're a huge fan.
I love blue chews.
I know you do. And they're made in the USA.
They're fucking game changers. You want to talk a great player? A great player has versatility. He can go those extra yards when he needs to.
Right.
Blue Chew does that. It's amazing. I mean, it's not a joke. I mean, it's the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis. It works, but it's chewable, so it's twice as fast.
And right now, you don't want to leave the house, Johnny, and go to anywhere, to a pharmacy or whatever. So it's prescribed online. Like everything is done these days online, shipped straight to your door in a discreet package. No in-person doctor visits, no waiting in the pharmacy. Best of all, no more awkwardness. They're made in the USA. They ship direct. They're cheaper than a pharmacy. Right now, we've got a special deal for our listeners. Visit bluechew.com. Get your first shipment free when you use special promo code SURVIVOR. Just pay $5 shipping. Again, that's BLUECHEW.com. Promo code SURVIVOR to try it free. Blue Chew is the better, cheaper, faster choice. We thank them for sponsoring the Survivor NSFW podcast. Sophie, props to you. I was not like you weren't someone like this huge, larger than life character, but you proved that you can play this game. I mean, you kind of haven't been involved in the, yes, you do the New York parties I see, but you've been living your life. You're not trying to hang on to your 15 minutes of fame from your first time around on Survivor. You got a second chance to play. So if you're listening to this, although you went home with an idol in your pocket, be proud that you at least got to play the game you did. And you never know. You could come back from Edge of Extinction and win the game. Highly doubt it, but you could. But Sophie was blindsided, and Tony Nachos, Domination Central. One of the my son, we watched the preview for the next episode before I came up here to do the podcast, and it was like, Tony now is having a spy nest up in a tree, and my son Cannon is like so excited to see the spy nest. I mean, we'll see how it happens. I mean,
the spy nest looks amazing.
So Tony, I mean, people gotta be like, ooh, like, although we love Tony this episode, is there any possible way that he can slide his way to the end of the game and win? Or is he going to be target numero uno? We know he has an idol. I highly doubt that Tony is a guy that's going to go home in a season like this with an idol in his pocket. So
no way.
We'll see if he can keep winning these immunities.
I mean, honestly, I wouldn't be shocked if he just keeps, like, if he feels anything, plays it, and he's up at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
And finds it again.
Yep. Oh, well,
and all that does is resume build.
Right. That's right.
So, I mean, like, this is for an American season of Survivor, the best single episode mastery. I mean, and if not, I don't know if it's ever, but in a very long time. I mean, it was just incredible.
Right.
So.
It was. And someone said that Tony, it was an exaggeration, I'm sure, but someone said Tony had 18 confessionals this episode. I mean, is that really possible? True? Like, could he have had how many? I mean, he dominated the episode. So yeah. I'd be curious. One of our patrons or something, let us know. But Johnny, great episode, and unfortunately, we won't be doing any more live events because of the quarantine and everything else. We were going to do a live event here in Cincinnati with Tina Wesson, but obviously that's not going to be in the cards this year. But maybe next time, hope everyone is safe. And Johnny, where can people go to find all the great things that we have to offer with our, links to everything, links to all the new t-shirts, etc.?
Just go to survivornsfw.com, and it's links to the Patreon, t-shirts, audio, video. So everything's there. So, and we've had so much, new content in addition to the Patreon stuff. We have Kieran Eisenberg with the Circle France podcast. We had me and Zach Hacker with Luke Toki from a Survivor Australian legend. So no, it's there's lots of free stuff out there. And then, as I said, if you want to get all the bonus content, try the Patreon for a month. We think it's pretty fun. So after we finish this, we're going to record another Q&A. So
that's right. And one more second, Josh Moore, I just saw his comment. It says, Matt, who's going home next week? I'm going to say Ben. That's my guess. We shall see.
I'm going Jeremy. I think Tony flips again.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I don't want to see Ben go home. I people are like talking shit on Ben's gameplay.
I'm liking him.
I like Ben. I mean, yeah. I asked my kids. I said, "Kids, who do you want to win?" They're like, "Tony or Ben? Tony or Ben?" So
Nick Wilson is playing a pretty smooth, like
he is.
Amazing supporting role.
I love Nick Wilson. I mean, God, it's weird for me because like Sarah Lucina, I'm a fan of. Nick, Ben.
I like the people that are still in there.
Jeremy, I do too, man. It's hard, but I think that if I were to say right now,
other than Wendell, like I think I'm pretty cool with the people that are still there.
Yeah, I am too. Right now, obviously, I'm on a high from Tony's great game that I would love to see Tony win, but we still got a lot of gameplay left. So Nick Wilson, cheers to the Kentucky boy. All you guys left in the game. Excited to watch the rest of the season. So we will see you guys next week for another exciting episode of Survivor NSFW. Cheers and good night, everybody.
Woo.